Hey guys, what's up? So it's pretty crystal Pepsi clear to understand that there's an abundance of Vaporwave producers out there, whether short-lived or ongoing in the scene. And just about every single name out there, whether they span from a singular release to a longevity of consistent records over the years, have left some sort of impact on this worldwide phenomenon that the internet currently inhabits. Some that are brand new to Vaporwave have already established some sort of mark on the scene, no matter how big or how little their current fan base is. Even some that have the most potential have a likely chance of going unnoticed and not gain the reputation that they deserve for how much effort that they've been putting in and how unique they are in their own way. So with all of that being said, here are 5 Vaporwave producers that I think you need to show some love for and spend a couple of bucks towards. And this is a brand new series that I'm going to be doing maybe once a month. I don't know about vapor news at the moment, but this is one I'll definitely be coming back to, and I can see it becoming a reoccurring segment on this channel. So without further ado, here are 5 Vaporwave producers that I think you all need to give some love. So to start off in alphabetical order, we've got Bluescreen from Australia. Queensland-based producer Bluescreen has released a variety of albums over the years that date back to mid-2016 through the Sunset Grid label that he started and co-owns with Acid.Rare. Aside from Tupperwave, this guy has been one of the most hard-working, relevant names involved in Australia's current movement in the Vaporwave community. He's done just about every subgenre of Vaporwave there is. Late-night lo-fi, echo jams, future funk, even ocean grunge, can you believe it? And since 2016, he's been pumping out a myriad of versatile records that range from solo albums to collaborations, as well as the 16-part J-Card series that he started back in 2018. This man just has no limits or boundaries to his creativity, and all he wants to do is to provide something new for anyone of any kind out there. And at the end of the day, his work ethic is all about branching out to different things that currently grab his attention and then later rendering them into his own style. Some of his best work can be found on releases such as Kaiki-sen, Load, and Blush, the latter of which he did as a collaboration with Danger Falcon 1989 and was later distributed with its own vinyl pressing through My Pet Flamingo. If you want to dive deep into this vast anthology that Bluescreen has to offer, I highly suggest you start with those 3 albums before pressing forward with anything else that he's done. But I encourage everyone to give everything that he's ever done a really good listen. And also as a side note, Bluescreen has been doing a fortnightly show called Death Mix, where he plays a mix of old and new Vaporwave that's currently streaming across the platforms. He likes to do a mix of ocean grunge, future funk, classic Vaporwave. He does it all really, so make sure you check that out. Another name we've got on this list who's a tad more somber as opposed to everyone else on this list, we have CompuServe. CompuServe provides you with a dismal yet intriguing take on Vaporwave, harboring influences from more soft, glitch, lo-fi and vapor noise. Coming from a background in the metal scene, CompuServe often likes to meddle with a somewhat unsettling perception when tracing his steps back to the classic, traditional style of Vaporwave. You'll find that a fair amount of his music comes with a series of offbeat, syncopated chops thrown into the pot, all the while conjuring a plethora of uneasy vibes that you can't help but want more of. So far, CompuServe has dropped 3 releases, one of which was released through Bluescreen's Sunset Grid label, and recently dropped another one in late April on his personal Bandcamp called Wild Wild Wave, where he pays tribute to the late Paul Gray of Slipknot. And the other being his debut, which he released in 2019 through his personal Bandcamp, where at the time he's still trying to establish his signature sound and that he wants to experiment with further sounds and samples to coalesce. However, such is proven on his follow-up, Low Budget Office Party. An album that will have you feeling like you're caged in the most claustrophobic office cubicle in an empty, abandoned building where the PA speaker somehow still seems to be working. Personally, I think CompuServe is one of those trial and error type Vaporwave producers based on what he's made, because he's not afraid to push the envelope as far as he needs to in order to make something that sounds most natural to him. That being said, it's always exciting to see what the guy has been doing in the works, and I know for certain that he'll always contribute something left of field and unique that will stick out from your average Vaporwave musician. And starting up in the northern hemisphere of this list, we've got Donal Lens. Donal Lens are an intricate musical duo that come from 2 different music scenes and together use that to their advantage to produce a fine array of tracks that are currently sitting really well in this current era of Vaporwave. Donal Lens made their debut in the scene in 2019 with the album Miracle Lounge, an 18-track record that incorporates trinkets of hip-hop, post-rock, hypnagogic pop, and use very little samples over a myriad of their own music. Donal Lens, consisting of Kid Neon and Love and Dust, merged the use of analog synths and string instruments that primarily focus on fretless guitars, basses, and sitars, the latter of which adds a nice world influence to the sonic fingerprint of their sound. Donal Lens referred to Miracle Lounge as an eclectic collection of Varospeed jams, encouraging the listener to play the record at their preferred speed or pitch to enhance the experience of the record itself. Though they've made some really good sales on the physicals of Miracle Lounge, I don't think Donal Lens are getting enough credit that they actually deserve for what they've been contributing to the current scene of Vaporwave. They have a discreet and subtle texture to their image and sound as a band, and I can definitely see them getting more experimental into the genre and go above and beyond the Call of Duty. They'd be a very interesting band to catch live at some point, and I have a feeling that they've got a really good production crew for everything that they're currently working on. So hopefully, if all goes well for them, they'll eventually get that opportunity to perform at 100% Electronica, or maybe even that little festival that My Pet Flamingo said themselves are putting together. And second last on our list, we have, from Belgium, venetosdeath. Belgian-based mastermind venetosdeath offers a very unique and diverse take on Vaporwave that complements both the sample-heavy nature of the genre as well as the innovatively structural approach of the hypnagogic experience that stems from the genre. To put it simply, if you were to take Death's Dynamic Shroud and Esprit, merge them together, you would have venetosdeath as the result. To be honest, it's really hard to allocate a specific subgenre of Vaporwave to venetosdeath. His music spans from mall soft, late night lo-fi, to even some chillwave every now and then. Vanitas has a knack for not only experimenting with a plethora of samples, but for analysing everything that surrounds the very definition of art. For him, there's no definitive conclusion to it when it's intellectually critiqued by people, and neither does he want to find or know the answer. He just wants to further his discovery from his internal thoughts and transcribe them into music. He also recently released another record through Pacific Records entitled Chromatic Ready-Mades from Yourself, which I can say with confidence is his best work to date. But before you delve into such a banger, I highly suggest you check out his 2019 album, High Renaissance, at the Modern Art Museum, and you'll be able to hear how much his sound and compositional arrangement has evolved since then. Vanitas, my dude, if you're watching this right now, your work ethic is impeccable. Keep at it, brother. Fucking love your shit. And last but definitely not least on the list, we've got Virtualboy, all the way from Scotland. My dude Virtualboy can really bring home the bacon when it comes to future funk. Such elements exerted from his music range from hip-hop to J-pop, and even throws in some influences from modern-day EDM producers such as David Guetta or Calvin Harris. And just by listening to the music, you can really tell the dude loves his chord progressions and build-ups. Even though his music is often classified as future funk, some of it can be regarded as good background music, almost like the upbeat equivalent to Haircuts for Men, or probably a slightly more energetic counterpart to Bonobo. And you can certainly find that in songs such as BMO, All Night Long, and maybe even Closer. Some of the rhythmic elements over each sample he emits into every project also has a similar vibe to those late 90s, early 2000s Eurodance tracks. At least that's how I feel. But believe it or not, it certainly doesn't stop there. Virtualboy also has a thing for UK and happy hardcore music, and even released a happy hardcore EP earlier this year entitled HTID, which also channels some very heavy Dance Dance Revolution vibes to its nature. Virtualboy also goes by multiple monikers that each have their own subgenre assigned to its name. This includes the ambient sleeping dream and his username Rico Ryan, which often harnesses strong vapor trap elements. All in all, Virtualboy never really turns a blind eye to experimenting with different things that grab his attention at the time. No matter how different the genres of dance music are, you'll always find someone to work with and incorporate it into his own sound. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, 5 Vaporwave producers I reckon you all should listen to right now. I'll probably do this once every month, and I already know who I'm going to be talking about in the next videos, so make sure you stick around for that. Before even thinking about clicking those like and subscribe buttons, make sure you wash your hands to get rid of all those pathogens and bacteria away so we can have a clean, healthy channel for the rest of God knows when. And as always, much love from your boy down under, Daydream Deluxe.